Ik weet niet wat het is.
That's how lucky you have to get if you're a little seed.
Okay, let's spin.
Nou, nog end. Of niet?
Ja. Hij is doe tegenwoordig zo graag een foto. Nou, hè.
Sí, he virado eso que no me está gustando.
Mine has the best camera.
Come on, then take a picture with me then.
Yeah.
The most dangerous thing out here are the zebras. Zebras are not horses, zebras are donkeys, donkey size, donkey shape, donkey attitude. And they will stomp you into a meat pie if you try to pet one. You're going to hear a recording on the way up. It is part of your tour, so please pay attention and keep the talking to a minimum so everybody can hear it. That way you'll already know something by the time you get to your tour guide and they can focus on the castle itself.
Newspaper publisher William Randolph Hearst traveled when he began building this estate with his architect Julia Morgan in 1919. They worked on this project for 28 years. We will pass a large Spanish-style house built in the 1930s as the poultry ranch manager's residence. It is still used by Hearst ranch employees today.
That's coming up on your right.
All his life, William Randolph Hearst referred to this place as the Ranch at San Simeon, even though in later years he gave it a more formal name, La Cuesta Encantada, the Enchanted Hill. Its hilltop estate became one of the most glamorous country houses in America. It was also Mr. Hearst's primary residence on the West Coast, and a place during the 1850s looking for gold. The geology that caused these steep hills to rise from the ocean floor millions of years ago was the same factor that brought precious minerals like gold, silver, and copper closer to the earth's shelters made of logs that were built for animals in Mr. Hearst's zoo. His love of animals drove him to create the largest private zoo in America, filled with exotic animals from all over the world. You may see herds of tawny animals that resemble mountain goats. They are known as audads and are descendants from Mr. Hearst's original herd, still roaming these hills and mingling with the cattle. Originally, this land was
Did you see any animals on the way out? The udads, the big horns.
And when you stepped off the bus, you entered our museum. So all the rules for the museum kicked in. And I know you heard them on the way up. Let's just review them. What can you touch? What'd you hear? Handrails, yeah. We have a lot of steps until we reach the terrace of the main building. So I encourage you to use them.
This isn't Hearst Castle we're standing in front of. This is what we call a guest cottage. This is the medium-sized guest cottage. It's called Casa del Sol because the views from this cottage face the setting sun over the Pacific Ocean. This little cottage is about 36 guests. Some of the famous guests who stayed here were Walt Disney.
The gold, there's no gold there. George was an innate geologist. He simply understood what he was looking at.
Years of age, he first laid eyes on another dancer, Marion Davies, an aspiring actress. She was 18. Within 2 years, they were constant companions. And they remained so until his death in 1951. They spent over 30 years together.
Any Californians in the group? 75 cents an acre. Would you take it? Yes. Oh, everything you see from the Santa Lucia Mountain. Climbing roses that are pink in color when they bloom to draw this Art Deco fountain presentation together. All the tiles that are not antique are designed by Julia Morgan. So you see stylized pyramids on the bottom and the upper riser, and then the lotus blossom tiles on the other risers. The guests arrived on this side of the property. There are water fountains on this level. There's a single here because it addresses our two natural enemies, wildfires and earthquakes. This building would stand and has stood through both of the horses, taking a caravan of cars down to the beach to have a picnic, or playing tennis. We have tennis courts here too. But in the evening, about 7:30, every single guest walked right through that front door to begin the 3 social obligations expected of all guests: cocktail hour, dinner, and a full-length movie in the home theater. We're going to follow the path of the guests right now, and I want to give you a little bit of warning about this. We're getting ready for our twilight tours that happen the day after Thanksgiving. So the decorating for Christmas season has been...
Stay by the door.
Showing.
1,800-year-old mosaic. And the first thing they saw was a 600-year-old double mantle, hand-carved stone. It's French, from the Chateau du Jour in the Burgundy region of France, near Dijon. Mr. Hearst won this double mantle and offered to receive it, and the tapestries. Mr. Hearst loved tapestries. He really could care less about paintings. He thought tapestries were, as a journalist, the best way, with a small plaque indicating the only 4 known originals lie at a ranch in San Simeon, California. There they are. Now, our Christmas trees, as I said, are getting set up for our evening tours. They're called the Christmas Twilight Tours. And this is accurate historically. Mr. Hearst and his wife originally, and then Marion Davies, set up a tree. He's a wonderful hostess. So the A-list of Hollywood was here. Some names were getting too far from them to know them as, you know, like we wouldn't say Taylor Swift was here, right? We would say Marlene Dietrich or Gloria Swanson or Betty Davis was here, Gary Cooper, Cary Grant. Do you have any questions before we leave this room?
Oh, what's that gigantic book?
That is a Spanish choir book.
What are those carpets from?
Those are called tapestries, and instead of painting, the stories in those hangings are woven. Hearst did not want the pretentiousness of the society in New York. He said, you know, it was casual dining at the ranch. So, no crystal, everyday glassware, paper napkins, thumb and fine china. This is stoneware you can find in any department store in the 1920s. It was blue willow design. And he liked his condiments on the table in their original jars and bottles, not just ketchup and mustard. There were, well, they had beef for dinner. This was a cattle ranch, still is today. He would absolutely have A1 steak sauce on the table, and Worcestershire sauce. That was his windows, and then you have the ceiling of the saints, a 16th century hand-carved Italian ceiling, 13 saints in all from the Roman Catholic tradition. This was a wall in Worcester, which is why you see those abstract figures looking slightly down. So she put in one of the 17 neighborhoods in Siena, Italy, where a horse race has been run every year for about 70 piece of silver repatriated to Galway, Ireland after Mr. Hearst's death. All right, dinner, 3, 4, or 5 courses, everyone talking, narrow refectory tables to encourage conversation. But when dinner was finished, 3 out of 4 doctors in the 1920s were recommending having a cigarette after dinner. It would be good for your digestion. So we're going to head into the morning room where you would have ceilings started looking unusual to our collections people. They brought in a painting restorer who examined it and determined it had to be restored, had to be cleaned. He was up on a scaffold for almost 12 years with something that looks like a long Q-tip and a solution cleaning 1 square inch of the antique ceiling at a time. Would strike my white ball, and to earn 1 point, it would have to carom or bank off of 3 sides and hit the red ball. How many years of practice should we put in to get to 21 points? Oh, lifetime. So this was another room to just kind of hang out. Deco-inspired movie palace home theater designed by Julie Morgan. We're going to watch a short pastiche of those home movies filmed by guests in the late 1920s. When we get into, Charlie called her the funniest woman he had ever known. Charlie was here so long that they called him the court jester. He was here often, always having a good time. Here he is with 2 silent film stars and the gentleman in the pool. About 350,000 gold leaf tiles in this pool. I want to thank you for coming today. Ann and I love having visitors here. Mr. Hearst would have loved it too. So on behalf of California State Parks, I'll say goodbye, but I'll meet you at the bus, of course, at the other end of you seeing our beautiful pool. If you're over 6 feet tall, I beg you, duck when you go out this door, which is...
Ja, mooi maken. En dan zou ik een verhaal over schrijven. Net als de Telegraaf bij ons. Och, ze staat de...
Bus staat er klaar.
Staat bus staat er klaar. Oh, hij staat een geweldig zwembad.
Favorite activity. We want to play tennis while you're jackhammering a void beneath our feet. What could possibly go wrong? She warned them the tennis court was made of porous concrete so it would drain. Otherwise, if you taper it, your ball goes sideways. It's going to leak, she said. He didn't listen. To this day, 3 hours after it stops raining on the outside, it's still raining inside. And over time, those ceiling tiles decided they didn't want to stick anymore. Big surprise. In the movie, you'll see someone jumping off that high dive in there before they took the tiles down. Look closely behind her head when she does.
zou wel geen mooi surfweer zijn.
Nee.
enjoying the cold. I need a cold.
auto aanrijden.
Dat komt hier.
Przyjaźni, czyli potem wrócić z powrotem, bo zazwyczaj została w Universal Studios. I sobie autobusikiem wracam tam, gdzie zaparkowałem samochód, tam na hotelu, gdzie
Don't wet your shoes, okay?
If nobody then reburies you in a proper grave, they dig you up and they get rid of your remains for the next poor person that comes along. So nobody, underneath that pane is this pane. He had just painted over it. And this was done by a lot of artists. This painting is done by Eleanor Slade.
It makes no sense to start off.
He didn't like it so much. He sold it to a friend of his.
Ze zijn geweest.
Leiden.
Ja, Leiden bijvoorbeeld. En in Friesland. Oh, een sta ik erop.
Kijk, het is alleen maar een microscoop. En een paar boeken.
Dat het helemaal doorgeschilderd is, maar dat je er doorheen kunt kijken. Kijk, hier is ze van Vincent van Gogh.
En hier zit de bestuurder. Kijk. Maar die zit er niet. Kijk. Zie je?
Kan wel, hè?